Hey everyone! Another day of controversy because you asked for it. This ranking is highly anticipated and incredibly challenging to create. We're ranking the best movies of all time. It's really tough to choose when we have films like Guillermo del Toro's Pan's Labyrinth, or even Alfred Hitchcock's classic thriller Rear Window, not to mention animations featuring rats, gangsters, and superheroes. It's the perfect list for those just getting into cinema or anyone looking to watch essential films. Deciding on the best movies of all time requires balancing both objective and subjective preferences. In other words, everyone has their own favorite films, especially at different stages of their lives. So before we begin, you know the drill. Comment below with your top 3 favorite movies of all time. I'm really curious to know. Let's chat in the comments section. Don't forget to like and share the link to this video in your WhatsApp and Telegram groups so the people you care about can stay up to date on this topic. Deal? Thanks. Let's continue. Now let's dive into the ranking of the 7 greatest movies of all time. All right, let's get started. The first one is Joe's film. Joe's film is about a man named Joe. He's an actor called 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 Joe. He's a silent film star who struggles to adapt to the talkies of the 1920s. Together with his on-screen partner Cosmo Brown, they come up with a plan to turn their first talking picture into a smash hit while Luke Wood falls for Kelly, a chorus girl with dreams of making it big in Hollywood. The film is best remembered for its iconic Singing in the Rain dance scene, which Gene Kelly performs to perfection. An interesting fact is that Kelly had a fever of 103 degrees Fahrenheit on the day of filming this sequence, yet his performance is still considered one of the greatest ever captured on film. There's no doubt that the film influenced many musicals that followed, and its release led to a surge in musical productions in the subsequent decades. At number 6, we have Gone with the Wind, released in 1939. The film is set in the American South during the Civil War and Reconstruction era. The story revolves around Scarlett O'Hara, the headstrong daughter of a plantation owner whose estate is called Tara. Scarlett is in love with Ashley Wilkes, who is engaged to her cousin, Melanie Hamilton. During a party at Ashley's house, Scarlett meets Rhett Butler, a charming and daring visitor. The film, one of the first released in Technicolor, was an absolute blockbuster. It received 13 Academy Award nominations and won 8, including Best Picture. Hattie McDaniel, who played Mammy in Gone with the Wind, made history by becoming the first African American to win an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. The production of Gone with the Wind was challenging, with delays and changes in direction, but the final result became a milestone in cinema. The film continues to be loved by many, despite modern criticism regarding its historical and cultural depictions. Number 5 on the list is Some Like It Hot, released in 1959. The film follows 2 musicians, Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon, who witness a mob hit. To escape the city, they disguise themselves as women and join an all-female band traveling by train to Miami. The situation gets complicated when one of them falls in love with Sugar, the band's lead singer. Directed by Billy Wilder, the film was nominated for 6 Oscars and won 1. It's considered one of the best comedies of all time and helped bring an end to the production code censorship system. Place, The Wizard of Oz, 1939. The film has an interesting secret about how it became a classic. Despite being well received and modestly profitable in theaters, most people actually watched it on television. CBS aired the film annually, making it a must-see event for generations of families long before VCRs were common. Fortunately, the film hasn't aged a bit. The fairy tale plot captured the essence of Elf. Frank Baum's novels, despite some major changes. MGM's Technicolor production created a surprisingly believable Oz, long before CGI effects were available. The song still managed to touch even the most cynical viewers. Perhaps television helped with this, freeing movies from theaters and bringing them into people's homes. Third place, The Shawshank Redemption, 1994. The film is based on Stephen King's novella, Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption. The story follows Andy Dufresne, played by Tim Robbins, who is sentenced to life in Shawshank State Penitentiary for a murder he didn't commit. There he meets Red, portrayed by Morgan Freeman, as he searches for redemption. Considered one of the best films of the 90s, it's currently the highest rated movie on IMDb with a score of 9.3. Despite excellent acting and direction, the film didn't win any of the 7 Oscars it was nominated for. In second place, we have Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, released in 1977. The film has dialogue that sometimes sounds a bit odd. The characters are often one-dimensional. The universe George Lucas created didn't make sense to anyone but him until the moment the film hit theaters. Nevertheless, the history of cinema can be divided into 2 eras, before Star Wars and after Star Wars. A New Hope initially opened in just a handful of theaters, but after a decade of heavy, hyper-realistic films, audiences were craving something different. Today, Star Wars A New Hope has become one of the biggest franchises in the world, showing no signs of slowing down. More than that, the film established the concept of the blockbuster event as a Hollywood standard. 50 years later, competitors are still trying to keep up, and Star Wars continues to thrive under Disney's direction. In first place, we have Citizen Kane from 1941. Orson Welles had unprecedented control over his first feature film, and his radio experience led him to approach storytelling differently from the Hollywood studio system. He responded with Citizen Kane, a film that essentially invented a new language for cinema. Welles perfected and in some cases created filmmaking techniques that are now standard practice. These include methods like deep focus, montage, non-linear narrative, and expressionist lighting. Critics initially accused Welles of being a mere collector of techniques, but he integrated so many methods so organically that Citizen Kane became a model for future filmmakers. The film ties all of this together in a compelling and timeless tragedy about a wealthy man whose ambition always outstrips his grasp. Despite being nominated for 9 Oscars, Citizen Kane won only 1 for its original screenplay. Its innovative structure, use of sound and lighting, and overlapping dialogues are some of the elements that make it one of the greatest films of all time. The story of Charles Foster Kane, inspired by media tycoons like William Randolph Hearst, continues to resonate with its portrayal of the insatiable quest for power and life's meaning. After exploring the significance of iconic films such as The Wizard of Oz, The Shawshank Redemption, Star Wars, A New Hope, and Citizen Kane, in my opinion, it's clear that each of them not only revolutionized cinema in their time, but also continues to influence generations of viewers and filmmakers. The Wizard of Oz brought vibrant colors and unforgettable songs to the screen, while The Shawshank Redemption showed us the power of hope and redemption. Star Wars redefined the concept of blockbusters, and Citizen Kane established new narrative and cinematic techniques that shaped modern cinema. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which of these films had the biggest impact on your life and why? Have you made your list of the 3 most important movies of all time for you? Let's continue this conversation in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. You'll see recommendations for our next videos on your screen now, which I think you'll find worth watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Captions by the Amara.org community.